Okay, so this is the famous and really important affirmation that is used at the Gateway program. It was introduced through Bob Monroe's first book, Journeys Out of the Body. It goes like this: I am more than my physical body. Because I am more than physical matter, I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world. Therefore, I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those who follow me. Also, I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal or greater than my own. I asked their guidance and protection from any influence or any source that might provide me with less than my stated desires. This second or this final portion of the affirmation that goes, I asked their guidance, or excuse me, where it says, I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance and understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, etc., is greater than my own. Uh, that part was added in Far Journeys in his second book. And when he does that, the uh, invisible helpers or guides, higher self manifestations uh, begin to appear in his life and in his story. So you can find the Gateway affirmation anywhere. I mean, you can just Google it. It's all over the internet. But in uh, Focus 10, like introduction to Focus 10, the track that I sent to everyone via email, that link, um, he will actually say the whole Gateway affirmation, so you can um, repeat it with him during that basic exercise. I use this, if I remember to use it, I use it at the beginning of Focus 12 or of any kind of OBE or lucid dreaming exploration. It's it's an important frame to start your explorations with, or your sessions, in the sense that you're really getting clear, or you're setting the intention. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. The most important thing for this whole higher self uh, process, this whole higher self yoga, is to have the intention to open and receive guidance. Like, we're having the intention, we're orienting ourselves towards this higher self plane of consciousness, and that intention is absolutely critical. If we go through the exercises but we didn't set the intention, the exercises may not be as powerful or as yeah, as effective. When we use Focus 12, we're going to create an access point. So we can begin, or when we do the exercise, you'll put on headphones, um, have the playlist or have the YouTube video ready. Use it, access it on a separate device. So whatever device you're using to listen to me, use another device for the actual HemiSync, because if it's playing on the same device, the quality tends to be lower, since Zoom is running at the same time. So For Focus 12, we'll be creating an access point. So we're going to go over that now, what that actually looks like. You're going to enter a meditative state. You can either be sitting up or laying down when we do this meditation. It's okay if you end up falling asleep, or if these frequencies like put you into sleep. The idea is that eventually this like clicking out or falling asleep effect will become less common, in the sense that your mind will start to experience it consciously, experience the body consciously fall asleep, or you'll consciously experience the physical body falling asleep. When that starts to happen, you're beginning to enter this whole area of lucid dreaming and out of body exploration. Usually we're aware right up to the moment of sleep, and then there's a lapse in consciousness, and that's how sleep usually occurs. If you remember, if you are able to remember actually falling asleep, there's a distinct shift in your consciousness. Like, I've never had I shouldn't say never. I mean, it's been pretty rare, but generally when I've fallen asleep consciously, the body begins to fall asleep first. It becomes very heavy, and then gradually just heavier sensations. And then there's actually like some spinning or movement, some characteristic signs of the consciousness phasing into a new state that would be the in-between state, Focus 10, and then going into the actual dreamscape. For accessing guidance in this particular exercise, the frequencies themselves will put your brain in that area of consciousness where guidance and messages and experiences with the higher self are possible. But there's multiple ways of approaching or using this particular frequency. One is by creating an access point, which is a place in your imagination where contact with this deeper intelligence occurs. So that can look like I'm going to a favorite place or a special or important place in my memory. And when I go to that place, I have the intention that a guide or inner guide or some message will be there for me. It doesn't necessarily have to be a face-to-face interaction with a physically appearing person, but you have the idea that when you enter this specific place in your imagination, there will be a message for you, or there will be the answer to a certain question that you have, or that clues or a door will be opened in that direction. So it's a way to set the intention and then allow your deeper mind to fill in the blanks, right? That's one way of using the access point. Another is that you can imagine that you are talking with an actual physical person, or non-physical person, living or departed, or whatever it may be, in this actual imagined location in the mind's eye. Another possibility, for example, is that in the Focus 12 state, this can happen. You go in with the intention that you're going to have this conversation, or that this maybe you're going to look around this imaginary room and open a book and find some message that's there for you. But none of that happens at all. You go into this meditation and actually the frequencies are really strong, and you start to feel that your body's falling asleep and whatnot. And then like it's like a message or it's like a mini dream that's transported into your consciousness. You have this experience of uh, reading a message that's on a computer screen, and that's not something that you intended to experience or see, but that's just what came through. So you can be open-ended with it. It can be an experience where you're more interactive with this access point and with creating it, and your conscious mind is more involved. Or it could be an experience where your conscious mind is not very involved at all, and you're just letting the experience unfold. So for me, when I do this exercise, I don't use um, conscious directing of anything. I just let it unfold, unless I'm guided to direct my attention at something consciously and see what occurs. So that can happen, but generally, I'm not trying to shape these Focus 12 experiences. So this state and this meditation that we're about to do, uh, it will be different depending on what time of the day or night you do it in. So, for example, if all of you got a full night's rest just now and you've slept for 8 hours and you're about to do this meditation, that is different than if you had done wake back to bed. So, if you had only slept 4 hours and your body's quite tired, and now you're going to go into Focus 12, that means that it'd be more likely for your physical body to actually fall asleep. And if it actually falls asleep, then it's likely you'll have a lucid dream or an out of body experience. So same thing with the afternoon nap. If you do these meditations in a state of mind or state of body mind where you're a little or somewhat tired, and then your body's actually able to fall asleep, it's different than if you did this as a meditation and your legs are cross-legged and you're sitting with your back straight. Yeah, in the last video I explained that consciousness is this spectrum, or appears to be this spectrum, and usually most of us were just oriented towards the physical body and the physical senses. That's most of what we experience as far as the spectrum is concerned. But what we're doing with dream work and with out of body exploration is that we're just expanding that spectrum of what we experience on the spectrum slightly. So waking state is this area, dreaming is like right here, out of body states are here. They're still like physically oriented, so when you have them, you might appear in a non-physical body that looks like your own. Further on the spectrum, you can get further removed from physicality, three-dimensional space-time experiences, and you start to experience things that are of a more formless nature. And then over here on the spectrum, you start to have direct contact with higher self. And yeah, all kinds of insights are available as soon as we do just this. Like, it doesn't even have to be this huge difference that we're going for. I mean, just a tiny phase shift out of our sensate, physically oriented perception can really allow for some interesting experiences to happen and profound insight to occur. So if you have a problem right now, all of us have challenges and issues. You can have the intention that insight into this problem will be revealed through focus 12. And as you can see, you can do this with anything, right? Like it doesn't have to be just focus 12. Like if you were to meditate without the HemiSync technology and you just designated that you were going to meditate on, on your meditation cushion against a wall, and you have the intention, okay, during this meditation, some insight is going to come through about a given challenge. You have that intention, you release it, like you have the intention, then you forget about it. And then you sit down and you just proceed with your meditation, not holding the intention or trying to figure it out consciously. And you just sit. And the answer may come, surprisingly, or it may come later. But that strong intention, or that tapping that you're doing on the door of the higher self or of guidance is generally answered. It tends to show up one way or another. Maybe you open a book and there it is, or you're walking in a grocery store and you hear someone in a conversation, then that's it. Like, or a bus pulls up right beside you, and the answer to your question is like in bold letters staring you in the face. And you said, oh, okay, great. that that was definitely the confirmation of the sign that I was looking for. So little things like this happen, and that'll be a subject of probably our next talk. Dream interpretation is really useful and important. Seeing if anything else is coming to me. Yeah, so you can have the intention now, or start to move into that frame. If any of you have ever prayed or connected or had some experience with higher self or higher power or God, whatever it is you want to call it, by beginning to converse with that, or have the intention to contact with it, like talking with it, at first it may seem like you're just pretending, or maybe this isn't doing anything, but I invite you to do more of that and see what happens. A lot of us have this. It's not necessarily the voice of conscience. I mean, it can appear that way, but it's the voice of intuition, and inviting contact with that and opening to hearing that voice more clearly and more regularly is something I encourage you all do now. And as this series progresses, it can be something as simple as closing your eyes and taking a moment to just express that you are open to receiving guidance, or that you intend to discover more about what this voice, or this source of knowledge and information, this part of yourself, actually is. That invitation and that opening, it's so simple, but it's so easy to overlook. It's so simple to talk more, to engage in like conversation and relationship with this intuitive voice, but if you don't actually like stop to have the intention and pause to express that intention and wish for contact, then it's really, really easy to overlook. So that's why the exercises have the gateway affirmation done in the beginning. If you're already doing Focus 12, uh, I don't think he explicitly says the gateway affirmation after intro to Focus 12. So what you'll find is on the YouTube playlists, or if you actually have the gateway program, there's like intro to the focus level. There's the advanced phase of the focus level, which really just means I'll take you into the focus level, take you back out, dip you back in. And that process of taking you in, taking you out, putting you back in, it's training you for like flexibility and consciousness, being able to enter a state, come out, go back in. And then there's free flow, which means the frequency is just playing and you're letting anything happen. There's not much guidance at all. So Focus 10 and Focus 12 both have these three versions, but the frequencies are the same. So it doesn't really, yeah, as long as the frequencies will drive your brain into this guidance focus state anyways. So, all right, so that's enough for the recording. We're going to begin the meditation.